Welcome to the Pixl Marketing Show, the podcast for real estate media pros who want to go from random acts of marketing to remarkable results. I'm your host, Pete Stagel, founder of Pixl CRM and creator of the Pixl Marketing Method. And every week, we're diving into the systems, strategies, and real stories that help you attract better clients, retain them longer, and grow a real business. Let's get into it. Today's episode is a little different. Instead of me just teaching concepts or bringing on a guest, you're going to get an inside seat to one of our live trainings. And trust me, this one's powerful. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things in your business, posting on Instagram, following up with agents, maybe even giving away free shoots, and yet you're still wondering why the bookings aren't consistent, you're going to relate to this. Because what we covered in this training is exactly how to break free from that cycle. Here's the reality. The old methods of getting clients that worked 5, 6, or 7 years ago, they're not working the same anymore. Instagram's algorithms have changed. Agents are bombarded with the same tired pitches. And the free shoot strategy that once seemed like the magic bullet, it's now a trap that leaves photographers burnt out and underpaid. What we dive into today is the opposite of all that. It's about building a system that generates warm, qualified leads across multiple channels, without you having to constantly hustle or hope that your DMs don't get buried. This training is part of a bigger framework that I teach called the Pixl Marketing Method. 9 steps designed to move you from random acts of marketing to predictable growth. But today we're zooming in on one of the most crucial parts, the lead generation engine. And here's why it matters. Until you've got a repeatable way of consistently generating new opportunities, your business will always feel unpredictable. Feast or famine. Busy one month, crickets the next. And that roller coaster, it's exhausting. So in this episode, you'll learn the exact approach I use, and that I've helped dozens of other real estate media business owners install into their companies, to keep the pipeline full without being chained to your phone or burning yourself out on cold outreach. Think of this as your roadmap to leverage, because when you've got the right system, your business grows even when you're out on a shoot, spending time with your family, or focusing on the parts of the work that you actually love. So grab a notebook, because we're about to get into strategies, scripts, and tools that can help you stop chasing clients and start attracting them. Let's jump into the training. Today, we're going to cover something that's been a total game changer for media businesses across the country. A system that helps you consistently book new clients without having to rely on cold calls, random outreach, or giving away free shoots. If you've ever felt like you're doing the right things, posting, DMing, following up, and still not seeing consistent bookings, this training's for you. All right. So you're here because you're tired of chasing clients. You're tired the free shoot offer. Maybe it got a few results, but now it feels like everyone's offering the same thing. You've tried Instagram DMs, but your messages are either getting ignored or buried. You don't need more hustle. You need a system. Something you can count on to bring in warm leads every single month. And that's exactly what we're diving into here. By the end of this training, you'll walk away with a clear strategy to generate leads that actually want to hear from you, a way to get your message in front of agents across multiple channels, and a follow-up system that runs without you manually checking your DMs all day. This is about creating leverage so that your business grows even when you're out on a shoot. So here's the real issue. Most real estate media businesses are stuck doing what I call random acts of marketing. They post on social, comment on agent photos, follow new accounts, maybe send a message here or there, but there's no system, no process, and no momentum. And the result? Inconsistent clients, unpredictable income, and a whole lot of stress. The old way that has been taught for the last 6 or 7 years is the Instagram method. Follow agents, like their stuff, DM them an offer. And look, 6 or 7 years ago when I started, it worked a whole lot better than it does today. But here's what's changed. First, Instagram's algorithms have completely shifted. They've cracked down on spam because people have been absolutely hammering this method. You used to be able to send video messages, long DMs, multiple follow-ups. Now, you're lucky if you can get one message that actually gets through, especially if they don't follow you back. The spam filters are catching everything. So sending a link in your first message, you're going to be blocked. Write a long paragraph, you're filtered out. Try to send a video, often doesn't even deliver. Second, the market is completely saturated now. I'm sure you guys are seeing in the Facebook groups that other photographers complaining constantly about agents who are just rotating through the free shoots. One photographer for each listing. No loyalty, no relationship, just next. I've seen agents in larger markets that are stacking up 4 or 5 or even 6 shoots in free shoots in a month, and they're treating photographers like a revolving door of freebies. And here's the worst part: when everyone's offering the same exact thing, the only way agents can choose is by price, and free is really kind of hard to beat. You can't build a long-term profitable business giving your time away to people who treat you like a freebie factory. And I've been exactly where you are. When I first started my media business, I relied on the free shoot method too, and I went all in on it. I'm talking several hundred Instagram DMs over my first 6 months, several hundred messages offering free shoots. And now keep in mind, this was 6 or 7 years ago, and the market wasn't nearly as saturated as it is today. Out of those several hundred messages, we probably got 40, 50 responses. And you know what I learned really quickly? If you don't follow up with them consistently, they forget about you, and then they don't use you. But here's the kicker: I actually did 20 or 30 free shoots in those first 6 months. And you know what got me? A bunch of one-time clients that treated me like a commodity. And I'm coming from a marketing background and having run plenty of other businesses. And I knew this wasn't sustainable. It got our foot in the door, sure, but it wasn't building a real business. And that's when I realized I needed to completely change our strategy. Eventually, the leads dried up. I was relying on hope that someone would see my message, hope that someone would refer me, hope that somebody would even just reply to the messages. But quite frankly, hope isn't a strategy. And that's when I realized I needed a real system, a predictable way to get in front of the right agents at the right time with the right message and turn them into clients. So I stepped back. I looked at what was working in other industries, and I built what I now call the Omni Outreach Method, a system that gets your message in front of the right agents across multiple channels. It makes it easy for them to raise their hand and say, I'm interested. So what we're talking about today, generating leads, is just one piece of a bigger framework I teach called the Pixl Marketing Method. It's a 9-step growth framework that helps you attract the right leads, turn them into loyal clients, and grow your business systematically. But today we're going to dive into just one part of that, and that's the lead generation engine. Now, quick note before we dive into the strategies. Yes, I built Pixl CRM, and yes, everything I'm about to show you is already baked into that platform. But you don't need Pixl CRM to make this work. You can absolutely do this manually with spreadsheets, DMs, or other tools. What Pixl CRM does is save you tech headaches and connect everything: outreach, follow-up, AI, campaigns. So you can launch this system without duct taping 5 different tools together. Cool? We'll keep going. So these 3 secrets completely changed how I do outreach, and they're doing the same for the real estate media pros inside Pixl CRM. You're going to walk away with scripts, strategies, and a clear roadmap for building a consistent client getting system. So we're going to go over how to ethically snipe leads from your competitors, why your DMs are getting ignored and what to say instead, and how to automate multi-channel follow-up without sounding spammy. And so let's get into secret number 1: how to ethically snipe leads from your competitors without running a single ad or picking up the phone. This secret alone could bring in your next 5 or 10 clients if you apply it correctly. And when I say ethically snipe, I don't mean anything shady. I mean working smarter, not harder. See, most photographers are out there grinding through hashtags, manually searching profiles one by one, trying to figure out who's a realtor and who's not. They'll spend 3 or 4 hours just to find 20 or 30 qualified leads. Meanwhile, your competitors, and I'm talking about other service providers in your market, have already done all of that work for you. And they've already identified the active agents. They've already built relationships with them. They've already attracted them as followers. You just need to know where to look and how to harvest that information. And the best part, it's all public information. It's all completely ethical. You're not stealing clients. You're simply identifying who's already active in the space. So a lot of people believe that the only way to scale client acquisition is to buy ads, cold calls, or do something uncomfortable and expensive. And I used to think the same thing. When my Instagram DMs weren't working consistently, I thought, oh, I need to start running, Facebook ads. I need to buy lead lists. I need to start cold calling. But here's what I realized. Your competitors have already done the hard work for you. Think about it. Who else in your market is already targeting real estate agents? Home inspectors, loan officers, title companies, staging companies. obviously even your other other photographers. If a local home inspector has 2,000 Instagram followers and you know agents are among them, why not extract that audience? If your biggest competitor has spent 2 years building their follower base, why not see who's following them? You're not stealing their clients. You're not doing anything unethical. You're simply identifying people who have already shown interest in real estate services. It's like walking into a networking event where everyone's already wearing name tags that say, I'm a realtor. You don't have to guess who to talk to. Your competitors have already created these networking events for you. You just need to show up and start conversations. So, where exactly do you find these gold mines of leads? Let me give you the hierarchy of where to look, starting with the most obvious. First, association directors. The local association of realtors, the NAR um, backed agencies. Some will let you buy or access their member list, but quite frankly, this isn't really going to get you anything more than names or maybe email addresses. You're not going to get the Instagram usernames and no social media profiles. It's better than nothing, but it's not ideal for the Omni Outreach Method. And second, this is where it really gets interesting. Your direct competitors' Instagram accounts. You can go find the top 3 to 5 real estate photographers in your market, look at their followers. These are people who have already shown interest in real estate photography services, but here's where most people stop, and that's a mistake. Third, this is the secret sauce, adjacent service providers. Home inspectors in your market, loan officers, title company reps, real estate attorneys if you're in an attorney state, staging companies, and even mortgage brokers. Why? Because these people are targeting the exact audience you are, but they're not your competition. A home inspector's Instagram followers, probably 30, 40, 50% are going to be real estate agents. A loan officer's followers, even higher. Title company followers, almost exclusively real estate professionals. And here's the beautiful part. These accounts often have thousands of followers. You can extract 500 to 1,000 qualified leads from a single account in about 10 minutes. Compare that to manually scrolling through through hashtags for hours and hoping to find agents one by one. It's not even close. Now, there are several tools that can extract follower lists from Instagram accounts. IGleads.io, some browser extensions, and various scrapers. My favorite is igexporter.net. Let me tell you why. First, it's not a browser extension. A lot of those other tools require you to install software or extensions that can get your personal Instagram account flagged or banned. IG Exporter works completely independently. Second, you don't have to log into your Instagram account, so there's no risk to your business or personal profile. And third, it's dead simple to use. You literally just paste in the Instagram username of the account you want to scrape, hit a button, and it gives you a CSV file with all their followers. And here's the cool part. It doesn't just give you usernames. You get their display names, their bios, and if you pay for the premium data enrichment, which is only a couple extra credits, you can often get email addresses and phone numbers too. And so you paste in ABQ realtors, and 10 minutes later, you have a spreadsheet with 2,500 potential leads, complete with contact info. Try doing that manually. You'll be there for weeks. And the time saving alone makes this worth it. But when you factor in the quality of the leads, people have already shown interest in real estate services, it's a complete game changer. Now, once you got your list of 500 or 1,000 leads, it's time to clean it up. Because here's the thing. Not everyone who follows a home inspector is a realtor. You'll have some homeowners, some other service providers, probably a few other photographers, maybe some people from completely different markets. And you need to filter out the junk. I use a combination of Google Sheets and some simple AI classification to do this quickly. First, I'll sort by bio keywords. Anyone with realtor, agent, broker, real estate in their bio, those are obvious keepers. Then I'll filter by location. If their bio says Miami realtor and I'm in Albuquerque, they're going to get removed. For the ones that aren't obvious, I've actually built a simple Google Apps script that you can put into Google Sheets, and it'll use AI to classify leads based on their profile information. It's not perfect, but it catches about 80 to 90% of the irrelevant leads. The whole filtering process takes about 30 minutes or so for all the leads that you're going to scrape. And then when you're done, you've got a clean list of 2, 3, 4, 500 real estate agents who have already demonstrated interest in real estate services. And of course, you can expand that to additional competitors, additional real estate related industries and put all of those lists together. And so that you can get all of the people who are active on social media. And what's beautiful about this approach is that these aren't random cold leads. They're people who choose to follow real estate related accounts. They're engaged in the industry and they're active on social media. And they're exactly the kind of agent who are likely to respond to good outreach. Compared to manual prospecting, this is a game changer. Most people spend hours searching hashtags and clicking through profiles trying to figure out who's who. And with this approach, you can scrape those leads in less than 10 minutes. It's faster, more scalable, and far more targeted than anything you're doing manually. So to recap, secret number one is all about working smarter, not harder. You don't need to reinvent the wheel or hunt agents one by one. They're already out there following the right people. You just need to pull the list, clean it up, and you've got a powerful pool of leads to plug into the rest of the system. Now, getting the list is one thing, but if you message them the wrong way, it's game over. And this is where we're going to start going into stuff that people aren't talking about. So let's move into secret number two. Why your Instagram DMs are getting ignored and how to craft messages that actually get responses. And this part is crucial because even if you have the best lead list in the world, it's useless if your message doesn't connect. So this is the most dangerous trap in our industry. If I just offer a free shoot, agents will book me. And of course, we talked about that, when we first got started here. Listen, I get it. Free shoots can serve a purpose when you're first starting out. They help you build a portfolio and get comfortable in the field and gain some confidence. And like I said, I did 20, 30 of them or so myself in the first 6 months. But here's what I learned the hard way. After your first 5 to 10 free shoots, you need to move on. Because what happens when you don't is you get stuck in what I call the freebie trap. The market teaches agents that your work has no value. They start expecting photographers to work for free. And when you finally try to charge full price, they balk. Worse, you can't follow up effectively with a free shoot offer. Think about it. What's your follow-up sequence? Hey, still want that free shoot? Hey, do you have a listing yet for that free shoot? Hey, just checking if you want to claim that free shoot. You're basically begging them to let you work for free. There's no educational component, no way to showcase how you do business differently, no way to build a relationship. You're just sitting there waiting for them to message you saying, hey, I have a listing. I'd like to claim my free shoot. And most of the time, that message never comes. There we go. So here's a shift that changed everything for me. The goal of your DM is not to sell them on your service. It's to get a response. And that's it. Because here's what happens when someone replies to you on Instagram. You unlock a completely different level of permission. Now your follow-up messages won't get buried in their message request folder. Now you can send links without triggering spam filters. Now you can have an actual conversation, but none of that happens if your first message falls flat. And most first messages fail because people are trying to do too much. They're trying to introduce themselves, explain their service, make an offer, and get a booking all in one message. It's like asking someone to marry you on the first date. The DM is just the introduction. The goal is to get them to raise their hand and say, yeah, I'm interested in hearing more. Once they do that, then you can start the real conversation. So what do we send instead of a free shoot offer? A transitional offer. Now, this comes from the Pixl Marketing Method framework, where we break offers into 3 categories. Transitional offers, like a stock photo pack or educational download. Direct offers, a one-time bundle that doesn't devalue your core packages. Promo offers, surprise and delight gifts for existing clients. For cold outreach, the best transitional offer that I think that you should be doing is a free stock photo pack. And let me be clear about what this is and what this isn't. You're not offering to go and shoot new stock photos for them. That would just be another version of the free shoot trap. Instead, you're packaging up local lifestyle shots, neighborhood highlights that you've already taken, beautiful images of your city, popular neighborhoods, local landmarks, lifestyle shots that agents can use for their own marketing. Think about it from the agent's perspective. They're constantly posting on social media. They need content for their websites. They're always looking for ways to showcase their local market knowledge. You're giving them a toolkit that they can immediately use now. No scheduling required, no waiting for you to shoot something, just instant value they can download and start using. And here's the psychology that makes this so powerful. You're positioning yourself as a resource, not a vendor. You're not saying, hey, hire me to take pictures. You're saying, hey, I know you need great content to market yourself. I've got some stuff that might help. It's a completely different dynamic. Instead of being a salesperson, you're being helpful, and people respond to helpful. Let me break down why transitional offers work so much better than direct offers like free shoots. First, there's no risk for them. They don't have to trust you with their listing. They don't have to schedule time. They don't have to coordinate anything. It's just, yeah, I'd like some free photos I can use. Second, there's no time cost for you. You've already taken these photos. You're just packaging them up once and reusing them over and over. One afternoon of work can fuel months of outreach. And quite frankly, you've got a ton of this stuff already in your archives of photos that you can put together for all of this. Third, it gets that crucial yes without any pressure. When someone says yes to your stock photo pack, they're not committing to anything except downloading some files. But psychologically, they've opened the door to a relationship with you. And here's the part most people miss. That yes is permission. Once someone raises their hand and says, yeah, I want you, now you have permission to follow up. You can add them to your email list. You can send them nurture sequences. You can stay in touch. And that's the difference between cold outreach and warm marketing. Before they raise their hand, every message you send is cold outreach. After they raise their hand, every message is follow up. And follow up has much higher engagement rates and much better deliverability. And here's what makes this especially powerful. You're moving them from cold lead to warm prospect in one interaction. Instead of hoping they'll remember you when they get a listing, you're now in their inbox regularly, educating them about your process, showcasing your work, and building a relationship, provided that you're actually doing your client connection roadmap. When they do get a listing, you're not starting from zero. You're already the photographer they know and trust. Let me show you the difference between what most people send and what actually works. Here's what most photographers are sending, and quite frankly, a lot of coaches are teaching. Yeah. Hey, Sarah, I found you on Instagram. I love what you're doing in the Albuquerque market. I just started my real estate photography business, and I'd love to do your first shoot for free to show you our work. Would you be interested? Here's a link to book. Now, let's break down why this fails. First, it's way too long. Agents don't read paragraphs in DMs. Second, it's asking for a huge commitment right away. And third, it includes a link, which is usually an instant spam filter trigger. Fourth, it sounds exactly like every other photographer's message. Everybody else who's doing the Instagram DM method has the same message. So here's what we send instead. Hey, Sarah, I put together a free stock photo package of Albuquerque. Want the link? And that's it. Short, casual, curiosity driven, and it ends with a question that's easy to say yes to. No big commitments, no scheduling required, no link to trigger filters, just a simple question that gets a response. And here's the psychology. Everyone wants to know what's in the stock photo pack. Even if they're not ready to book a photographer, they're curious about free photos that they can use for marketing. And that curiosity is what gets the reply. And the reply is what opens the door to everything else. Now, let's be clear. You are not offering to shoot free stock photos. The pack is made up of local lifestyle shots or neighborhood highlights you've already taken. Agents can use them for their own marketing. In social media, website headers, listing promotions, agents are constantly needing content, and you're solving that problem. Let's see. Now, once they say, yes, I want the link, here's where most people mess up. They immediately send a Dropbox link or a Google Drive folder, and you don't want to do that. Instead, you say, awesome, here's a link to claim your pack, and you send them to a landing page. And that proper landing page will have them enter their email and phone number, and then you can follow up with them. 3 reasons why you want to do that. First, it makes the transaction feel real. You're not just some random person sending files. You're a business with systems. Second, it captures their real contact info. The info you scraped might be outdated or secondary. When they fill out your form, they're giving you their primary contact details because they want what you're going to give them. And third, and this is crucial, they're raising their hand. They're saying, yes, I want something from you. And that's permission-based marketing. That's the difference between cold outreach and warm follow-up. When someone raises their hand, you can ethically add them to your email list. You can send them nurture sequences. You can follow up without it being spam. And that's how you turn a single Instagram DM into a long-term client relationship. Once someone raises their hand, you now have permission to follow up. And here's the good news. You don't have to wait weeks or months. The transition from Transitional offer to direct offer can happen within a week. You've already got their attention. Now you introduce your introductory offer, one that's time sensitive, value packed, and completely different from the discount crowd. You stack the value so high that it becomes obvious why working with you is a smarter choice. And that's the power of leading with value and then moving to an irresistible offer. So to recap, the DM isn't the sale, it's the spark. You use a transitional offer like a stock photo pack to get a reply. We also cover some other transitional type offers in the Pixl Marketing Method book as well. I just happen to like the stock photo pack really, really well. Then you're going to make your first impression count. You deliver it like a pro and follow up with an introductory offer that's built to convert. And that's how you turn cold leads into booked clients fast. All right. So we've covered how to find the right leads without buying ads or cold calling. We've covered what to say to actually get them to reply instead of ignoring your DMs. Now let's talk about secret number 3, how to reach cold leads from all angles without breaking any rules or burning any bridges. And this is where the Omni in the Omni Outreach Method really comes to life. Because here's what I learned after sending those several hundred Instagram DMs in my first 6 months. Relying on just one channel is like playing Russian roulette with your business. Maybe they saw your DM, maybe they didn't. Maybe Instagram filtered it, maybe it went through. Maybe they check DMs regularly, maybe they never look at them. You have no idea why someone didn't respond. And if you're only showing up in one place, you're not really showing up at all. So I started asking myself, what if I could reach the same person through multiple channels, but do it in a way that felt natural and helpful instead of spammy and desperate? And that question led to the system I'm about to show you. Most photographers rely on one channel, usually Instagram, to try and reach agents. Agents doesn't reply, they assume it didn't work, and they move on to the next person. But think about your own behavior for a second. How many emails do you miss? How many Instagram DMs do you see but don't respond to immediately and then probably forget about? People are busy, especially real estate agents. They're showing homes, writing contracts, dealing with clients, putting out fires. Your single DM might be the 47th notification they got that day at 8 o'clock in the morning. So here's our approach. This is completely different from what most people are doing. We reach them through Instagram, email, and voicemail. And we do it strategically, not randomly. And here's the sequence. Day 1, we'll do the Instagram DM with our transitional offer. About 3 hours later, we'll send an email follow-up saying, hey, I sent you a quick Instagram message, but figured email might be easier. I put together a free stock photo pack of the local area. If you'd like it, want the link. Then 2 days later, we'll send a second email follow-up mentioning that we sent the message on Instagram and the prior email. And we still don't have a response. We'll do 2 days after that. We'll do a final email follow-up with urgency. This offer's only good for another few days. And then an hour later, we'll do a voicemail drop. Each message references the others. Each one gives them another chance to raise their hand. When they do respond in any channel, we'll stop outreach on the other channels. And so this isn't spray and pray. This is smart sequencing. And here's what's beautiful about it. We're not hitting them with different offers. It's the same helpful offer, just delivered through different channels. So instead of looking spammy, it looks like we're being considerate of their communication preferences. Now, before we go any further, let me be absolutely crystal clear about something. We do not use cold SMS in this system, ever. And I need you to understand why, because this isn't just about being compliant, it's about protecting your business. First, from the legal standpoint, there are federal regulations around unsolicited text messages, and they do apply to realtors because realtors typically use a personal cell phone. The TCPA Act, carrier level monitoring, and all sorts of compliance issues you don't want to deal with. But here's the practical business reason that should scare you more. If your number gets flagged for spam complaints or opt-out violations, you could lose your phone number altogether. And think about what that means. Your business phone number, the one on your website, your Google listing, business cards, the one on all your existing clients have, it's gone. And getting a new business number means updating everything and telling all of your existing clients, and that's just going to look spammy too. And overall, it's a nightmare that could cost you thousands of dollars and weeks of work. Plus, let's be honest, you all get spam texts. What do you do with them? You report them. You block the number. You get annoyed. That's not the first impression you want to make with potential clients. So we only use SMS after someone explicitly gives us permission, like when they call back from a voicemail and ask us to text them the link. And that's permission based marketing. That's safe. That's smart business. Now, here's where the system gets really intelligent. When someone replies on any channel, our automation kicks it in to handle the response and stop outreach on the other channels. Let me walk you through each scenario. If they reply on Instagram, our system immediately sends them the claim link right in the Instagram messages. At the same time, it automatically pauses the email sequence and cancels the scheduled voicemail trap. We don't want to keep hitting them when they're already engaged. If they reply to an email, same thing. Instant email response with the claim link, and we stop the voicemail sequence from going out. Now, here's where it gets really cool. The voicemail sequence. When we drop a voicemail, we're going to get people calling back. Some heard the message and are interested. Others just saw a missed call and are calling back to see who it was. And this used to be a problem for me. I send out voicemails to 50 people, and suddenly my phone's ringing off the hook while I'm trying to work. Now that's where our AI voice agent comes in. The AI answers every call professionally, says, "Hi, thanks for calling Pixl Peak Photography. How can I help you today?" And if they say, "I just got a missed call from you guys," the AI can respond, "Oh, that was probably from our outreach about the free stock photo package for local agents. Are you interested in getting that link?" And if they say yes, the AI can text them the link right away, and of course, with their permission. And if they say no or hang up, no problem. The AI handled it so we don't have to. Some of our clients actually use the AI to handle all their calls because it's so good at qualifying leads and directing conversations. Overall, the point is that you're not getting interrupted. Every response is handled professionally, and prospects get immediate value, regardless of how they choose to engage. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Pete, this sounds like a lot of automation. Isn't this just sophisticated spam? And I get why you might think that, but let me explain why this is completely different. First, every message is personalized and relevant. We're not sending generic blast emails. Each message references their market, uses their name, and offers something specifically valuable to real estate agents. Second, each message references the others. The email mentions the Instagram message. The voicemail references both. It's a coherent conversation across channels, not random hits. And third, we stop immediately when they engage. And this isn't about overwhelming them. It's about giving them multiple opportunities to connect with us in a way that works best for them. Fourth, the offer is generally helpful. We're not pitching our services. We're offering free resources they can use immediately. And finally, the frequency is respectful. We're talking about 4 or 5 touch points over a week, not daily bombardment. And this is relationship-driven outreach. We're treating prospects like humans with different communication preferences, not like targets in a spray and pray campaign. The goal isn't to force a response, it's to make it easy for the right people to raise their hand when they're ready. And that's what makes all the difference. Here's the thing. You could try to build this with a dozen different tools. Zapier, Gmail, Instagram extensions, voicemail apps, delivery tools, spreadsheets, etc. It's absolutely possible. But quite frankly, it's exhausting and fragile. I've built a lot of different integrations before we got Pixl CRM up and running, and they would break halfway through running, and you have to try to figure out what it is you did. Pixl CRM makes this plug and play. And so we built these workflows in specifically for real estate media businesses, everything from outreach to reply handling to delivery. It's all inside. So to recap, if you want to stand out in a noisy, saturated market, you have to show up from multiple angles. Instagram alone isn't enough. But when paired with thoughtful email follow-up and warm voicemail touch, your chances skyrocket. And this is the Omni Outreach Method. And Pixl CRM makes it simple and compliant and powerful. All right, so let's recap what we've covered today. And I know I talked really fast, so the recording's going to probably come in handy. It really has been a lot of information. So number one was how to ethically snipe leads from your competitors. Instead of manually hunting for agents one by one, you're harvesting them from accounts that have already done that work. Home inspectors, loan officers, title companies, even your direct competitors, they've all built audiences full of your ideal clients. Tools like igexporter.net let you extract those followers in minutes instead of hours. Number 2, why your DMs get ignored and what to say instead. The free shoot offer is broken. Markets are saturated, agents are stacking freebies, and Instagram spam filters are catching everything. Instead, lead with a transitional offer like a stock photo pack. Get the reply first, build permission, then move to your direct offer. And number 3, how to reach cold leads from all angles without breaking rules. You don't want to rely on Instagram alone. You want to use smart sequencing across Instagram, email, and voicemail. Each message references the others. Each gives them another chance to engage. And when they do respond, you stop the other channels. And so these 3 secrets work together to create what I call a lead generation engine. You're not just hoping someone sees your message. You're systematically putting yourself in front of the right people in the right way at the right time. And the result is, instead of praying for 1 or 2 new clients a month, you're consistently booking 5 to 10 additionals. Instead of competing on price with every other photographer doing free shoots, you're building relationships with agents who see you as a valuable resource. And of course, instead of starting from scratch with every prospect, you're nurturing warm leads who already know you, trust you when they get to the listing. And that's the difference between having a marketing tactic and having a marketing system.
Thanks for listening to the Pixl Marketing Show. If you're ready to go from random acts of marketing to remarkable results, grab your free copy of the Pixl Marketing Method at pixlmarketingmethodbook.com. If this episode helped you, share it with another real estate media business owner. Make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Until next time.